Welcome back, Patriots, to the Bald Brad Show. It is officially Thursday, July 18th, and as always, Joe Biden is still by far the worst president in American history. And let me tell you, he may not be president that much longer, folks. We got breaking freaking news here. It's not officially confirmed, but I'm going to break down for you step by step by step what has taken place over the last 72 hours. And all things are leading to Joe Biden dropping out of the race. We'll get to it, folks, in just one moment. Want to give the lovely supporters here of the Bald Brad Show a shout out. We got Lily B, we got Patrick, we got Danielle always in here, Dana, Craig, nice to see you. Good morning, brother. We got Jeff in here, Vincent, Miriam, Cece, Jackie, Neil, Patrick, if I didn't already say, Danielle, Brian's here. We got everybody here. We got Sunset over on Rumble. We got Karen Catmom. Thank you so much. Karen Catmom, I think you left me a nice 5-star review on Amazon for purchasing the book. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Jeremy's here. I'm watching Rumble today because you don't like my... Oh, YouTube doesn't like your comments. Yeah, a lot of you are transferring over to Rumble. Couldn't be more than happy to have you guys hang out with me over here. Deplore with me. I see a Golden Girls over here. Got to wet my whistle a little bit before we jump into things, folks. Hopefully you guys are all having a lovely week. Just want to announce we will be live for the RNC officially. I said I was going to be live throughout the week, but I didn't realize there's going to be like a lot of speeches and stuff like that. But since Donald Trump is going to be speaking today, he's probably going to be the last one to speak. We will go live later today and kind of check out those speeches together and then kind of round off the RNC with the man, the myth, the best president ever, Donald Trump himself. So, again, be on the lookout for that. Well, we got some updates regarding the assassin that shot Donald Trump. So let's break that down real quick, and then whatever the article is leaving out, I'll kind of fill in the gaps for you. So the 20-year-old guy that shot former President Donald Trump on Saturday in Pennsylvania aroused suspicions from law enforcement. Get this. Aroused suspicions hours before the thing took place, meaning open fire on President Donald Trump. Hours, not hour, many hours. So he arrived at a security screening. Like the dude actually went through a screening for the event 3 hours before it started and immediately landed on law enforcement's radar. Now, what could it have been? Like, what do you think it was that gave this guy away? Now, some of you might think it was the ladder that he was carrying that he bought at Home Depot. Maybe with an AR-15. No, I don't think he had any of that on him, obviously. What he had on him was a rangefinder. Now, what does a rangefinder do? It kind of looks like a binoculars a little bit. It actually gives us it here. Rangefinders are commonly used in hunting, long-distance shooting, and golf as a device, which looks similar to a pair of binoculars, instantly tells you how far away they are from a given target. It just roused suspicion. That was it. Come on in, buddy. Who you voting for? Biden? Yeah, come on. Yeah. You know, if you really want, we usually don't let people up there, but now that you tell us you're voting for Biden, you're probably the only one in here doing so. We got a nice ladder for you. So, oh, you got your own? You got your own ladder? Oh, no, where is it? Okay, yeah. Just go up there to the left, about 400 feet from the president. You're going to have a bird's eye view with that rangefinder. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Folks, this is ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's hours before. So 3 hours before, they had suspicion of this guy, and they still let Donald Trump go up there, even though they lost this man. Now, I want to see if I could find it for you, and I should have had it queued up, but now that I popped it in my brain, there was video of this guy walking around the area. Let's see if I can find it here for you. I apologize. There we go. It's right here. This dude, 1 hour before Donald Trump took to the podium, you got this guy in the background. There we go. Right there. That's the dude walking around. I'm gonna make sure I don't blow your eardrums out here, so we'll lower the audio. There he is, scouting out the place. That's him down there. Look at that. So unbelievable. It is so statistically unbelievable. So there he is, roaming around. Look at him, hand in pocket. Yep. Wow. No, but don't worry, you guys. He was suspicious, but he's able to just roam the grounds an hour before. So understand this, please. 2 hours then before this was taken, he was suspicious. An hour before, he's still suspicious. But we don't know where he went. He's gone. No idea. He just disappeared. Huh, who could have thought? I mean, the amount of stuff that's coming out of this is just really head spinning to the point where there is a lot of speculation now from watching Dan Bongino, hearing from the Secret Service director, hearing from the Secret Service themselves, that there is a lot of cover-up that's taking place. The hearing that allegedly took place with the Senate behind closed doors was quoted as saying just basically like cover your ass type of campaign and meeting. I don't know why she hasn't resigned. The Biden administration is allegedly telling her to don't say a damn thing, which is worrisome, which is going to only elicit more people to think it was an inside job. I think this is beyond a screw up. If it is beyond a screw up, there needs to be a lot of people that are fired. But here's the thing. Do we not always call this out? If you're in the Biden administration, nobody gets fired for anything. Nothing. What do I mean by that? You may, Brad, what do you mean nobody gets fired? Name one person. Amidst of everything that's gone on the last 3.5 years, Afghanistan, record inflation, Iranians backing Harris to go after our military installations, and we give them $10 billion. We'll get to that a little bit later because we're still giving them $10 billion. The Houthis going after people. I mean, you just name it. It doesn't even matter what it is. I could go through the laundry list of things we always go here. Who's been fired? What about the illegal immigration? We'll get to that today too. Who's been fired? Nobody. Like, whatsoever. Like, this is, I think out of everything, you having an assassination attempt on a president that actually shot him in the head, probably a good reason to be fired or let go. Yeah. Or to say, you know what? Probably should resign. You know what I mean? In the same way, like Gavin Newsom, right? Losing $100 billion with a B, not 100 billion. Even then, that would be crazy. Lost $100 billion surplus. Still has a job. Not only that, I think I'll run for president. That's the Democrats for you, man. It really is just just blows me away. So the one thing that also blows me away here is the fact that allegedly this guy went to Home Depot and he bought the ladder. Yeah, no, he bought the ladder. You know what I mean? And what'd he do? Allegedly, he walked a mile with his AR-15, 50 rounds of ammo, and a ladder. No red flags. No, just seeing some dude that quite honestly looks like a shooter, like a psychopath, just walking down the highway. 100% cover your ass briefing. There you go. That's the receipts that I was telling you earlier. Just so you know, we don't pull this out of our you-know-what. We show you the proof, the receipts. He was identified as being suspicious. The Secret Service lost sight of him. Still not a good thing. Like, how is that supposed to make us feel better? Yeah, you know, he had a rangefinder in his backpack. The dude just looks like a killer. And, yeah, we lost sight of him. Huh. Not to mention you had 3 minutes at least that we know of people saying, guy on the roof! He has a firearm. He's pointing it at everybody. My wife, get down, Charisse. That's not an inside job. No. Oh, how could we think that? Guys, come on, stop that. How could you think that in the chat? How could you think it's an inside job? Huh? What, do you mean all the failures? The sloped roof that they're claiming you shouldn't bid on because it's not safe? No, it's a real thing. If you're like, the sloped roof, Brad, what are you talking about? The the Secret Service director said they couldn't put anybody in the roof because it was sloped. I'm telling you, if you're coming out with lies like this and you can't keep track of them, something sus is going on a big time. And I don't think it's just trying to cover people's ass. Yeah, there you go. John says, we all know. Yeah, I think we do all know. I think we do know what's going on. But don't worry, you guys. They're going to get to the bottom of it. How do we know? Well, the FBI's doing the investigation. They're trustworthy. Come on. We all trust the FBI. How could you not? They do superb work. Look what they've done going after Donald Trump. Oh, they'll get to the bottom of it. Sure they will. Yeah. Just in the same way we got to the bottom of the JFK assassination and the Reagan stuff. Yeah, we know everything about that. Oh, yeah. Interesting how all that works out, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Well, Trump shooter parents called police hours before. If you didn't just spit out your coffee, you just did now. Don't worry, folks. We'll get to the Biden news of him allegedly dropping out. We'll get to it. I promise. We got a lot of show. You know how it works. Trump shooter's parents. This is real. Called police hours before assassination attempt. Dude, it just... Every day, I feel like it gets more worse. The only thing that could be worse, I think, in all of this, in terms of information coming out, was going, yeah, the guy went through a security checkpoint with a ladder, a laser finder, a bomb switch, AR-15, so scopes zeroed at 400 meters. The guy said he was going to kill Trump, and the 50 rounds of bullets was really what did it, and we just let him in. Now, at this point, I think if that happened, I wouldn't be shocked. I really wouldn't. But his parents contacted law enforcement hours before he opened fire on the president. The aspiring assassin's mother and father told local police that Crooks was missing and that they were concerned about his welfare. It remained unclear if they knew he was in possession of the AR-15 rifle before that belonged to his father. Folks, I think they knew. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, my son was just building a bomb in the basement that we saw carrying him out to his car. He actually couldn't hold it because he's so scrawny as a little bitch. So his father helped him carry it. There, allegedly, I saw this. I don't know how true it is. There was a former explosives expert talking about the bomb that was supposedly in the car. And he said to have that type of tracker that was found on the roof, that you would need basically a cap, an electrical cap that goes on top of the bomb to be able to detonate it. And he said there's only two ways of actually obtaining those caps. One of them is you have to make them yourself, and it's something you could do. But he said it's probably out of the realm of possibility with this kid, because not only are they highly explosive, like they're, you could really screw up easily, like blow yourself up, but you'd also really need to know the fine details of the ingredients and how to put them together. He goes, it's not like you just get to mix this stuff. He goes, it's very specific in the chemicals that go into this, and the amounts that go into it have to be exceedingly specific to the point where if you're not, then it's just not going to go off. He said the other way is you could purchase it over even Amazon. He goes, but it's highly traced, like it's tracked because of the nature of it. So there's only two ways of getting it, unless somebody bought it through him. He bought it through the black market, but who the hell knows? I think we know a lot of stuff, and I think we're going to find out a lot more either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday next week. Now, you might be thinking, Brad, that's weird. Why did you say Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday? Well, let me tell you. They're just busy. The Secret Service director and DHS, they're just busy. They can't make it, you guys. It's not that important to them. Yeah, we don't know what day it's taking place on. I'm being dead serious. That sounds like I'm being like satirical. No, I'm not. They just can't make it, you guys. Yeah, no, they got other things going on. So they requested for Monday. Director's busy. Yeah, Secret Service director's too busy to be there. Yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff going on, I guess. More important work. So they said, well, maybe Tuesday. Well, I don't know if we can do it then too. Let's shoot for maybe Wednesday. So I will keep you guys up to date on when it's actually taking place. We have nothing as far as last night. I looked again. As far as last night, nothing is set in stone, but just know it's either going to be Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday as of right now. It looks like either Tuesday or Wednesday, most likely. So we'll keep you up to date. We are going live for that entire long briefing in front of Congress. And I want to know every damn ounce of information. If they start stonewalling, if they start lying, folks, which they already are, by the way, they already are. Dan Bongino came out with it. He has Dan Bongino's sources. Was the Secret Service there? Okay. It's not like the sources are some person that was watching on television. No, Dan Bongino's sources. Was the Secret Service there? Like the guys there. So they've already come out and said the Secret Service director's lying through her teeth, and they're too scared to come out as whistleblowers. So we'll make sure we bring you the latest and greatest news, folks. Well, let's get into the Biden news. The big news of the day, if you're just joining us, folks, this is the end of the Biden campaign. I do believe it, and I want to lay out to you why I believe it, even though it hasn't been released, that is the case within itself. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you haven't already, hit that like button. We got a lot of people watching, the show. If you haven't already, folks, again, leave us a comment down below. It'd be greatly appreciated. If you're wondering why my beard always looks razor cut and smooth, no, I don't go to a barber, folks. We've already said it. We use Patriot Shave here on the show. Backed by 2,000, you guys, 5-star customer reviews and a satisfaction guarantee. Patriot Shave offers a premium quality razor and at affordable prices. I got sensitive skin, so this right here, I'm thankful to have a nice razor, but even better, they are a freedom-loving company that is standing for your traditional American values, folks, and that's something worth fighting, and it's also a company that's fighting wokeness. While other big-name brands may salute flags like this LGBTQ trans stuff or support causes that don't even align with your values, Patriot Shave is here for you, baby. The hardworking men and women who love this country and who don't want your hard-earned money to go to woke causes, give that hard-earned money and a nice shave to patriotshave.com. Go right now. You can actually get 15% off, which balances out the Bidenomics that we're dealing with. Use code SWITCH. Use code SWITChy switch. Patriotshave.com, code SWITCH. Patriotshave.com, code SWITCH. And your beard might look as good as this. No guarantees, folks. You got to drink the 1775 coffee that we're drinking. If you don't got, somebody picked up a mug. I saw the purchase. Look at it. It's so good. I don't know what it is. I drink, look, you guys see me drink it. Sometimes the mug is dirty. I only have one mug. And I drink coffee out of other ones. There is really something about this. I don't know if it's psychological, but we got the flag on the back. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just go left-handed just to show people, trig the Dems and the libs, the snowflakes. Anytime you have an American flag, you trigger them. I don't know what it is, but sometimes I'll just flip it this way just so I can make a point. Like, yeah. You little snowflake, you voting for Biden, huh? You voting for Crooked Joe. Well, it's now COVID, Joe. Joe got COVID. So here we go. Let's break this down. So he was doing interviews yesterday, and man, it was rough. Okay, but don't worry, we're supposed to watch this guy, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. Not my words, his words. Okay, he said watch him. That he'll prove to you guys that he's coherent. He's gonna prove to you that he's sharp. So here he is rambling incoherently and claims he was involved in civil rights. You guys, we've debunked this. It's a lie. Well, how'd you debunk it, Brad? Joe Biden told us himself on camera it was a lie. And we have the records. This guy's been around in the public light for 50 years. He said it himself. That he lied. His bullshit never happened on camera. Like the 70s or 80s. So he said he participated in the sit-ins. Now we're just getting a little wild here, Joe. We'll play it. I promise. I'm just kind of giving you. Sometimes he rambles, you can't tell what he's saying. And he said he got arrested for being on the porch with a black family. Well, you guys, when I say that, he goes, I drove 18 wheelers. It's not too far off. He said he was a truck driver. He wasn't. The ones I make up is I sold Girl Scout cookies. No, you didn't, Joe. You just sniffed the Girl Scouts, you weirdo. And then he goes, I was an activist for black people and marched on the streets with Dr. King. No, you didn't. He just makes shit up and people believe it. They're all about it. So here he is, rambling, mumbling Joe. Joe, show us how sharp you are, buddy.
It's about why I got involved in the first place. Look.
Sorry if I blew your agent, though.
I got out of school, high school, and my state was segregated by law to its great shame in Delaware. And I got involved in the civil rights movement. No great shakes, just sit-ins and, and things like that. And the end result of this was all the friends I made. For example, one of the guys who my mom talks about when Barack called me and saying he wanted to do a background check on me because he wanted to think of me as vice president. I said, I don't want to be vice president. And he said, no, there's only you and two others. I said, Barack, I can help you more as a senator. I really believe that. He said, no. He said, well, damn it, there's only you. And I said, Barack, I don't want to be vice president. And he said, well, go home and talk about it. He knows my parents, my mom, my dad's dead. So we had a meeting. I was on the train and then going back to Wilmington. And when I got home, we sat in the back porch, called the family together. My son was alive then.
You guys, I just want to point something out. This guy has COVID. He's probably had COVID for quite some time now, allegedly. And he's just sitting there coughing in this dude's face, not even covering his mouth. He's like leaning in. My mom, he talked, Barack, Barack said this, like, Jesus, dude.
My two sons, my daughter, the only outside friend other than the family member that was there was Ted Kaufman. It was my best friend. He was just sitting as stepped in as senator when I got elected vice president. And so we went around the room. On the porch, what do you want to do? And my wife said, you ought to do it because if you don't, he's going to ask you to be Secretary of State and you'll be away all the time. And then my son, Bo, who was Attorney General, should be sitting there, not me. And I said, Dad, you have an obligation, went through it. And so everybody made their case, and I still didn't want to do it. My mom was sitting against a railing, and over on the porch, there's like a story up.
All right, I can't do it, man. I'm sorry. There's still another minute of that, and this guy's just... I mean, it's similar to what he was doing when he did that press briefing, right? He's just rambling on something about his mom back in the day, and, Joe this, and Barack that, and Kamala this. I sat there and did that. Well, here he is saying that guys. Oh my God. Biden claims he's losing support among black voters. I can't believe he said this. Because he can't go through the projects in black neighborhoods on foot anymore.
And one thing does change. It's not an excuse, an explanation. I would ordinarily be going through black neighborhoods on the foot, working through the neighborhoods. I have a tradition. I close every campaign, no matter what campaign, going into the projects and going down the east side. And, hey, Joe, well, how you doing? Everybody, well, just because they're my friends, let them know I'm still there. We can't do that now.
Let them know I'm still alive. I'm still moving. I'm good.
Not because of the black community, because it's too dangerous for me to be out walking on a company. So what I'm doing, though, is trying to keep in touch with as many of my black constituents and letting people know that I'm available. I'm available. It's a reason why I got involved in politics in the first place. Not a joke. Not a joke. Everybody deserves a shot. Everybody deserves a shot. And we've demonstrated, you give them a shot, they step up. They step up in every community. That's why the black community is doing as well as it is now. And it's going to do better.
What? This guy's so out of touch. He's so out of touch. Now, I get the aspect that you're president and you can't go out places. I mean, we saw that, right? I mean, you can't even go to your own rallies anymore because the Secret Service lets a guy within 400 feet of you with a AR-15 with a 5.56 round to go right through your damn head. So, no, I get it, Joe. I get it. But this whole idea you can't go to black areas because, because it's basically so crime-ridden. Doesn't that give... Like, by the way, it's also crime-ridden in white areas. It's so silly that we keep pushing this whole thing, like the projects, right? White people have their own projects and stuff like that. It's so silly. But everybody has their crime. But it's just funny how he's just said at the end, oh, black people are doing they're better off under Joe. If anybody, nobody's better off under Joe. Let's just keep it at that. Not a single person's better off with Joey. He recounts his visit when he went to a black home in South Carolina. I guess we'll sit through this 20-second clip. It's not too long.
And by the way, for example, I was in South Carolina and went to going to a black home where a dad and his son were sitting at the kitchen table with him and they talk about it. And after it was all over, the father said, no one's talked to my son like this before. No one said, you really mean it. I do mean it. I mean it.
No one's talked to my son like this before. I don't know. I mean, if you're the father, maybe you should start talking to your son like that then. Maybe have sit downs, talk about life. Holy Lordy. Yeah, Miriam, it is an insult, isn't it? It's freaking wild. I don't know what it is with the Democrat Party just so invested in race. I mean, they always have been. It is literally their cornerstone of their party is identity politics. I don't need to bring out the history of the Democrat Party, but I think we're all aware of it. So he just continues to ramble through that whole thing. And if there's more stuff I want to show you, we'll come back to it. I don't think I'm gonna subject you to more. I mean, you guys, it's endless. We could go on probably for another 10 minutes. Oh, this one I did want to show you. I wanted to show you because some of you were laughing when I went on my rant about a week ago where I wasn't cussing the whole show. And then the second I start talking about how boxes of cereal is like $6, that's when I started cussing because I love my cereal. And when it's $5.99, in some cases it's $6.99 at the grocery store. I was just there yesterday. It gets me fired up. So Joe Biden's asked about a $6 box of cereal. And I was like, I got to play this for the audience. I gotta show it to the Patriots. Who wants to play for me?
Tell people who are paying $6 for cereal they can't take their kids to a movie or a ball game, memories that last with you. What do you tell them?
Well, I tell them what's happening is inflation is coming down. It is coming down. You have 16 Nobel laureates in economics saying that it's coming down. I think you're going to see, I have not spoken to the Fed. My guess is they're going to reduce rates. But what we have to do is deal with the corporate greed. What's happened here is, since the pandemic, corporate profits have doubled. For example, I want to make sure that corporations that own apartment complexes cannot raise rent beyond 5% in any 1 year. Period. I want to see to it that we're going to build 20 million new homes.
What do you tell people who...
Guys, we were talking about cereal. Okay, going to a ball game. Well, we're gonna do stuff about rent control and tell people what they can and can't tell somebody else to buy up or something about. Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna build 20 homes, and I don't know about the Fed. I'll tell you what I think I just do, dude. Like this guy, man. It's corporate greed. It couldn't possibly be the fact that, you pump the economy full of trillions of dollars. You said yourself that the bargaining chip is now back with the laborer, the person that can negotiate their own salary now. And why were they able to do that? Well, because the government was out competing the private sector. We all remember this, right? When the government was handing out checks like they were hotcakes and people didn't even need them. Some people are getting checks and working at the same time. The government was paying people so well that there was no reason to go back to work. Why would you? Because you're getting paid more to sit at home and do nothing than you were going back to work. And so what happened was, well, you got to compete with the government. So you already artificially inflated salary and wages. And so people had to sit there and compete in the private sector. So they had to increase wages. Well, now we're at this point here where does that increase in wages go and get passed on to? It gets passed on to the consumer. So we all get effed. I was talking to my wife last night. We live in Southern California, so we go to Disneyland a lot. It's kind of like our only thing we do, and it's one place that Disney hasn't at least transed their kids on. And, we have to go there and just, walk around, really catch the fireworks or whatever, nothing crazy. And what's funny is the place is completely packed, right? And about 40 to 80% of somebody that you would run into in that range is on credit card. They can't afford it. And so people are complaining about the price of a ticket at Disneyland, right? Because it's through the roof. I understand that. But at the same time, the cast members are on strike right now at Disneyland because they want higher wages. So what's happening is people are supporting them going, pay them more money, you bastards, you corporate Disney. You can do what you can. You make their wages in 1 day. You can pay them more. The same. This is. It's the disconnect is really an astonishing thing. I mean, there's no soft. The same people that are complaining about prices of a ticket going to Disneyland are complaining that the people working at Disneyland aren't getting paid enough and that they should get paid more. What happens when you pay people more money? Yeah, the consumer pays what? More. Look, if you want them to get paid more money, whatever, but then don't complain about the price of a fucking ticket. In the same way that all these liberals, right, go, $20 for fast food workers like McDonald's. And then they go and pay $8, $10 for a burger. I'm not talking about fries and a drink, just $8, $10 for a burger. And by the way, that happens. That's a real thing. We all know that in Southern California. They go, when did this happen? When did this happen? Well, I don't know. Maybe you wanted all these people that put a freaking patty in a microwave and put it between two loaves of bread to get paid $20. Maybe that happened. If you want to know the real cost of a burger, about 1/3 of it is labor, meaning that when you eat 1/3 of that burger, that is what you're paying for right there. Somebody scoop food. So because Joe Biden is incoherent, because he's rambling and fumbling through his words that we've all seen, and the media tried to hide it for years. Kamala Harris tried to hide it. Gavin Newsom tried to hide it. They all were complicit in it. Half of Democrats say Biden is not mentally fit to be president. Now, again, I'm showing you all of this. We already know this, right? But I'm showing all of you because, one, I want to show you the receipts, but I also want to walk you along my path of thinking why Joe Biden is going to drop out. I'm pretty sure, I don't want to say confident, but I'm up there in a high percentage of Joe Biden's going to drop out very soon. So almost half of Democrats say the incumbent president does not and is not mentally fit to serve as president of the United States, a new poll found. Again, this will play into what I'm going to get to in a second, why Joe Biden's going to drop out. The poll performed by the University of Chicago and the Associated Press found that Democrats are increasingly likely to be concerned about Biden's mental fitness. Well, why would they be? I was told that he was okay. You guys are all, well, hold on. No. The media. MSNBC told us he was fine. CNN, those liars told us that he was fine. Everybody told us he's fine. What do you mean, Democrats? So when asked whether or not Biden has the mental capacity to serve effectively as president, only 27% of Democrats say they're extremely confident. That's still a shit ton. Yeah. Time out. When asked whether Biden has the mental capacity to serve effectively as president, 27% were like, the guy can do it and he's going to knock it out of the park, baby. He's the best president ever. You know how many millions of people? Folks, it wasn't like they were confident. When you see the word extremely confident, that's like you bubble those like strongly disagree, neutral, strongly agree. This is like the top one. There's no doubt in 27%, let's do plus or minus 3%, 30% of Democrats probably are like, this guy, there's nothing wrong with him. Not a single damn thing they could source that's wrong with this guy. They're fully with him 100%. There's not an inkling of doubt inside them. Then check this out. Another 25% of Democrats said he's somewhat confident. Folks, you could have roughly 50 to 60% of Democrats roaming the streets right now saying this guy's, they're confident on his mental fitness. I don't think we need any commentary on that one. While another 48% said they are not very confident or not at all confident. Half that party, more than half that party thinks Joe Biden he's with it. Oh, that guy, he's coherent. He's good, baby. He's good. Boy, oh boy. It just goes to show you that you can literally do anything and everything and have a conversation with somebody, show them all the proof, all the evidence, and they're just, that's fine. Like, I'll give you an example. You see this right here? That little piece right there, that's white, right? It's a white screen you see right here. Democrats, to them, that's red. That's blue. You can show them that it's white, but no, it's red or blue. It's another color. They'll tell you it's pink or purple, some bullshit. No, it's white. You can show them the proof. You can show them whatever you want, folks, and they're just gonna see something else. The reason why that's important is because you'll see in a moment. About a week ago, Biden said, if they can show me that I would lose against Donald Trump, I would bow out of the race. Now, remember, right after the debate, they started secretly polling how Kamala Harris would match up against Donald Trump. And I promise we'll get there. I'm giving you the breadcrumbs of the trail. And we have the polls showing that Kamala Harris would, in fact, do better than Joe. Furthermore, there was conversations, which we'll get to, with Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and Joe Biden, that Joe Biden is he doesn't have it. So here's what we have now, because Joe was hearing all these rumblings, a lot of behind the scenes. He's now all of a sudden receptive. All of a sudden, he is receptive to ending his presidential campaign. Dude, this is a wild shift from what we saw before. And the reason why is because you have dozens upon dozens of Democrats coming out and saying, look, man, it's not in the cards. We're not supporting you. We don't like you. All of a sudden, they don't like him. All of a sudden, he's not good, right? He was good for all that time. All of a sudden, he's not. So President Joe Biden is now reportedly being receptive to the idea of ending his presidential campaign and greenlighting the way for Vice President Kamala Harris to be the party's nominee. Folks, this is not the only thing I'm going to show you to build credibility and show you the receipts why I think Joe Biden's going to drop out relatively soon. Multiple sources within the Democrat Party told CNN that the tone of discussions with Biden are beginning to change as more and more Democrats urge him to step down. The private conversations with the Hill are continuing, a top Democrat advisor told CNN. He's being receptive, not as defiant as he is publicly. He's gone from saying Kamala can't win to, do you think Kamala can win? And again, that goes back to the credibility of him saying, if you could show me proof that I would lose against Donald Trump and that somebody else would win, then he would bow out. It's still unclear whether he's going to land, but seems to be listening. Biden said in an interview released Wednesday that he would be open to stepping down if he was diagnosed with a medical condition. This is the second thing I wanted to address. Not only the polls, but I wanted to address that the change and shift of all of a sudden a medical condition is what it would allow him to step out. I bring that up because you have to build a narrative. You can't just all of a sudden just bow out after everything that's been going on in the media for 3.5 years, after everything that's been going on for the last, month or so. You can't just go, well, I'm done and I'm not confident anymore. You're seeing a narrative here. What I think is going to take place, and we're going to continue with this, is I think they showed him the polls. They ran the numbers. They did it secretly. They showed him, Joe, you don't have it. It's not in the cards. So he's being more receptive. That's what we're going to tell people. We're going to soften the blow a little bit. Yeah, he's listening to us. Yeah, he's coming to the group and the conversations with an open mind now. The polls show it. Well, how are we going to get Joe out? How are we going to sit there and plant the seed of the narrative that this guy isn't fit to hold office? What can we do? Because this guy is just not in the good medical condition. Folks, it's a little weird that all of a sudden he has COVID, right? A little weird all of a sudden he has COVID. COVID could trigger a lot of medical conditions. They lied to us about it in the past. Hey, you know what? It just sparked another aneurysm. He just can't do it. And then you just chauffeur Joe out like this. I mean, all they have to do is take him off his meds, right? So this is the narrative that I think is going to swing. I think you're seeing it in real time. And I'm not blowing smoke up. This is what I firmly do believe. I think this is what's guiding and happening. I didn't think it would happen, right? I said, no, Joe's sticking with it. Joe's staying in. Joe ain't going anywhere. But I think there's been so much pressure behind closed doors that I think he is going to bow out. And we're not done yet. I got more evidence to my plausibility of why I think this is taking place, folks. Hopefully you're all doing well. I see you in the live chat there, folks. I see you guys all in the live chat. If you haven't already, make sure you support our next sponsor here. Do you rely on big woke corporations and the corrupt medical establishment to keep you healthy? I hope not. Then why would you trust some globally owned corporation to keep your pet healthy? They have been sponsors before, folks, and they're taking care of us again. If you're going to take care of yourself, you got to take care of your pet self, folks. It is a conservative value. It's time to stop relying on them for anything. They put lead and shit in your pet's food. I grew up with animals. I grew up with like 4 dogs at a time, like 4 cats at a time, iguanas, when I was at my babysitter's, all sorts of stuff. Well, folks, these woke companies, they hate us, and they want us sick, and they want our money as well. Well, we at Rumble started Positive. That's correct, PAW, Positive Health, because pets are an extension of our family, and it matters. And they get clean, nutrient-filled, vitamin-rich superfoods to stay healthy and happy. There's not any lead in there, man. I'm telling you, a lot of these woke companies will ship stuff from China all the time. They love China. They love China, but not Positive, not Rumble's Positive. That's why we create a range of superfood supplement waffles that your pet will love, packed with nutrient healthy ingredients that promote better digestive support, bone health, vision, and immune strength. That's also with a rich anti-inflammatories, vitamins, and minerals essential for your fluffy family members. Head over to Positive, P-A-W-Sitive, right now to check out their superfoods and other products. Use studio code. Again, code studio to save 15% off. Again, that's going to be really helpful, folks. Take care of your pets, because these woke companies, man, they don't care what ingredients are in there. They don't care about it. They care about pushing their woke agenda. If their woke agenda could put more money in their pocket so they could be funded by Soros and other these companies sending these psychos out there to push their woke agenda, they'll do it, folks. So we got to support those that carry our values, which is why we do like 1775 Coffee. We do Positive. We do Patriot Razors, because they carry our values. They carry the same values that this country should carry as well. So let's continue here. Again, you have Joe Biden being receptive. Joe Biden's open-minded all of a sudden. Joe Biden has COVID all of a sudden. He's not feeling well. Well, you know, if the doctor could point towards something of a medical condition that he thinks I can't run, well, then I'll do it. I'll listen to him. So you're seeing the narrative build. You're seeing the narrative slowly change. And allegedly, Barack Obama's team is really the one driving this whole thing and asking for Biden to step down. And it's not just Barack. We'll get to the others as well. Here we go. It's from Brett Baier.
Executive editor and Fox News chief political anchor. So here is what, in part, Adam Schiff said. He said, quote, "Our nation is at a crossroads. A second Trump presidency will undermine the very foundation of our democracy, and I have serious concerns about whether the president can defeat Donald Trump in November. While the choice to withdraw from the campaign is President Biden's alone, I believe it is time for him to pass the torch, and in doing so, secure his legacy for leadership by allowing us to defeat Donald Trump in the upcoming election." Kayleigh McEnany, who was on a few minutes ago, she thought this was significant because Schiff is very close to Nancy Pelosi, and like George Clooney, likely would have run this past Nancy Pelosi before coming out with it. Clooney, as you'll remember, ran his op-ed past Obama, and Obama didn't object.
I buy that, John. Good afternoon. I think, there are a number of Democrats and Republicans who are here in Milwaukee around the coverage of this convention. I've run into some of them.
They're all talking about having Joe Biden step down. And it's all going through Nancy Pelosi. But I think above Nancy Pelosi, obviously Barack Obama. Them two are kind of leading the way. But a name that's kind of been left out is the Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer. Well, he has now joined the list of growing Democrats who have called on President Joe Biden to leave the 2024 presidential race. And this is according to ABC News, where Jonathan Carl reported just the other day that Schumer and Biden have spoken over the weekend, and that Schumer had forcefully made the case that it was best for both the Democrat Party and the country as a whole that he would not be the nominee going forward. Quote, "The pressure from Democratic leaders for Biden to get out of the race is intensifying. In fact, one person who has been out of there publicly defending Biden told me just a short while ago Biden is going to see the whole house of cards come down soon. As for that meeting in Delaware, I am told that this was one-on-one meeting, just the Senate leader and the president, and that Chuck Schumer forcefully made the case that it would be better for Biden, better for the Democrat Party, and better for the country for him to bow out." Folks, you're seeing everything fall apart. The funding's falling apart, right? They've frozen the $90 million that we know of. They're having all levels of the Democrat Party telling Joe to get out. He has no support. The only support that he has at this moment is probably just Jill Biden and Hunter Biden. Granted, the Democrats, those that are voters, are going to sit there and get behind him anyways. As you just saw, about 50% of Democrats think Joe Biden is coherent. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know about that party, that they are just so far gone. And so here's Nancy Pelosi told Biden that you are dragging down the party. So this is breaking. Nancy Pelosi told Biden last week that she and other Democrat lawmakers worry that he's dragging down the party in an extraordinarily candid confrontation that came amid mounting pressure on Biden to end his reelection campaign. Pelosi also warned Biden that some Democratic lawmakers would start to grow louder in their gripping about political weakness, according to two people close to Pelosi. She urged the president to make a decision about stepping down soon. I think you're going to see it this month. I think you're going to see Joe Biden step down and resign, and that will be that. Now, that also comes from, I want to make sure I have this queued up here for you. Let's see if I can find it. It disappeared. Jackie Heinrich reported on it as well. Here we go. Got it for you. That's why we're on top of it, folks. I want to see where she said, where was it? If I can't find it, I'll just tell you what was said. Here it is. Exclusive interview reporting former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi privately told Joe Biden in a recent conversation that polling shows that the president did not defeat Donald Trump and that the president could destroy Democrats' chances of winning the House, folks. This just came out just yesterday evening. Now, I bring that up because, remember, it gives credibility. One, that I wasn't blowing smoke, right? Not that I would do that. But that there was secret polling going on to see how Kamala Harris would poll against Donald Trump, and she polls relatively well. Now, what you're seeing here, though, is this play out. The play out is, now that Joe Biden has seen that he actually can lose, the question is, how are they going to get this guy out of office? I don't have the answer for you, because according to Wisconsin, Joe Biden would literally have to die to not be on the ballot. Now, I don't know how that plays into if he was to bow out and leave, but it has to be pretty much by the end of this month, because they start printing the ballots and creating things around August, and then September, the beginning of September, is early voting. So they got to figure this out relatively quickly. And I think him developing COVID is a sign that, hey, things are starting to go south here. Now, I'm not wishing any ill will against Joe Biden. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I do think, you guys, based on what I've seen, the polling, the narrative, the media narrative, Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, Chuck Schumer, Adam Schiff, Adam Schiff in Democrat is probably the furthest left person in Democrat. The dude's evil. I think that Joe Biden's going to drop out. I want to know what you think. Let's go ahead and kick off a poll here in the Bald Brad chat. I apologize that I don't think I can do a poll over at Rumble, but will Joe Biden drop out? Start poll. Yes or no? Let's see what the Patriots have to say there. Again, if you're just joining us, the breaking news really is that Joe Biden's going to drop out, that he's going to end his campaign. The narrative is that he's had so much pressure to drop out because he's not mentally fit. They did secretive polling behind the scenes to see how well Kamala Harris would poll against him, and Nancy Pelosi showed him the polls. Now, believe it or not, something that we didn't get to in the article, this was another article that I couldn't find, is that when Nancy Pelosi met with Joe, he actually didn't believe it. So the original polling that she was explaining to him, he didn't take her word for it, and he was still not receptive to dropping out. And so what she did was she had somebody else meet with Joe Biden to go through the polling with him and the evidence to prove that he's not capable of beating Donald Trump. And that's now where I believe he starts becoming more receptive to this, amidst of him losing his donations, him not having the money coming in like it used to. We still have a couple more months, like 2 to 3 more months of all this. And so now that that's happening, all of a sudden he has COVID. All of a sudden, just over the weekend, he's not doing his campaign in Nevada. He drops out because he's not feeling well. All of a sudden, he's saying, hey, if my doctor finds something mentally or medically off, that's it for me. So now you're seeing the media narrative shift. And I think that's what we're going to see in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I think you're going to see a medical condition come out. I think what could be a move by the Biden administration saying, look, a lot of you were prompting us to do a follow-up physical. A lot of you were really pushing us to do this or that. Well, we went ahead and did it. And unfortunately, the doctor did skip over it. It was something that was missed in the prior medical evaluation in February when he did his physical. It's something that's has been actually developing for a while that's just been missed multiple times. And, the president, he's gone, not physically, not like dead, but he's gone like mentally. Like he's just not with us. It's going to progress. He had 2 aneurysms. It's degenerative. Like it's really just going to keep progressing. And we don't think moving forward, Joe Biden's going to be capable to be president of the United States. There you go. And so I think that's where that's going. Damn, 78% said 79. Damn, it might move up to 80% of the Patriots think Joe Biden will drop out. Wow. I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't think you're going to be, I didn't think it was going to be that high. I didn't think you're going to be behind that. I do think he's going to drop out, obviously, right? Why would I put in the thumbnail? I don't do that clickbait crap. I guess the clickbait part was Joe Biden dropped out. He hasn't officially dropped out yet, but I think behind closed doors, he basically has. So what I want to more or less, before we keep going here, because I got illegal immigration news, what I want all of us to be on the lookout for is not necessarily Joe Biden at this point, it's Kamala Harris. And what do I mean by that? Kamala Harris has been doing this word salad crap for like 3 years, right? We've all seen it, right? She keeps saying like the same thing. The sunset flows, and when you see the sunset and the sunset flows, that flowing of the sunset will allow you to really deeply look at the flow, but also the sunset as the sunset flows. And that through that avenue of that sunset, when it's flowing, you can really see the different dichotomy of that flow that happens within that sunset. And as you're there with that family atmosphere with your kids watching the flow of the sunset, you can really see that sunset really ravel out as it flows with the wind. And then we can already come together through that flow of the sunset. Like, you know, that word salad that she does? What I want everybody to watch when she talks, and I'll see if I can find it for you throughout the week, and hopefully even today and tomorrow, is for her to move away from that. I bring that up because, again, she was Attorney General, I believe, in my home state, California. You guys, she never talked like that before. She was actually really crisp in her answers when she would do these reportings. I'm talking years ago. She was actually really crisp. Like, she would give you clear-cut answers. She did not do any of this word salad stuff. This is relatively new. So we need to be on the lookout, because I think if she transitions away from that word salad, like I'm an idiot, I'm a dope, I think that's a sign that you're getting really close to Joe Biden dropping out. Philip here with a take. I think Joe's out by next Friday, July 25th. There's the take. Everybody pin it. Philip put it in the chat. Philip put it in there. All right, Phil, we're holding you to it. We got the receipts of Phil. I love that. Phil, you could be right, my friend. You could be right. So as always, I told you I'd keep you guys up to date on illegal immigration. Hopefully you're okay with going a little bit longer, not too much longer, but I want to make sure we get to this. 2 illegal immigrants arrested in relation to hit and run death of beloved Nashville restaurant owner. Whoa. Hey. Guys, we were told they're good people. Hold on a second. Why in God's green earth would you do a hit and run? You came here for a better life. What are you doing? What happened here? I was told by Democrats these are just good people, you guys. Why would they do a hit and run? I was told they just want a better life. They're just trying to feed their families. Like, what's going on here? 2 illegal immigrants have been arrested after police say they helped a man evade law enforcement after they attempted to take him in for questioning over the death of a beloved Nashville restaurant owner after a hit and run. Well, we don't need to go any further on that, but other than the fact that on Wednesday, Immigration's ICE told the Daily Wire that these 2 individuals, and they confirmed that it had placed immigration detainers on both men who police say helped Martinez flee from police last week. So isn't that just lovely? No, these people just want better lives. We're not done yet, folks. There's another one here where an illegal immigrant brutally attacked a Florida woman in her own apartment, repeatedly stabbing her with a 3 to 4 inch blade and machete. So what I'm about to show you is a little bit violent, but it needs to be shown nonetheless, because this is the country that Democrats want. This is what happens all across the country every single day, and the media try not to show it to you. Only the local news will every now and then. Let's roll it.
This is in Fort Lauderdale at an apartment complex. Cell phone video capturing officers with their guns drawn and the takedown of that suspect.
That's right. Local 10's Joseph Ojo joins us live in Fort Lauderdale with all of the chilling details here. Joseph.
Alex and Andrew, that woman does remain here at the hospital fighting for her life. She was stabbed multiple times and possibly with more than one object. But this morning, a motive still remains unclear in this crime.
Open the door! Open the door! With their guns drawn and them shouting commands, stop! Fort Lauderdale police eventually forced their way inside of an apartment, tackling the aggressive suspect.
Get down! Get down! Get down! Get down!
One angry man delivering a kick to the head here.
Stop! Stop it!
And once again right here, before he stopped. A bloody mugshot is the result for a man who witnesses say nearly stabbed a woman to death with a machete.
He seen the guy on top of the female while the female was laying down on the bed, belly first, and she said that the guy was stabbing her on the back with a machete.
It all happened Thursday on Southwest 26th Street near 12th Terrace in Fort Lauderdale. Cell phone video.
You know, we got a lot of older people that watch the show here. I'm 35. That's how these kids dress nowadays. The dude couldn't even shave a little bit, okay? You know, back in the day, we used to get our asses kicked for having facial hair like that. Your hair's in a man bun, and you couldn't even take out your earpiece for an interview. These are these kids nowadays, man, I'll tell you.
belly first, and she said that the guy was stabbing her on the back with a machete.
It all happened Thursday on Southwest 26th Street near 12th Terrace in Fort Lauderdale. Cell phone video recording the tense moments. Residents say they heard a woman screaming in a locked unit, and they called for help.
Everybody was just trying to break into the apartment.
The female victim lost a lot of blood and had to endure several surgeries because of the attack. Doctors finding a 3 to 4 inch bladed object lodged in her chest, indicating more than one weapon was used.
So the charge is attempted second-degree murder.
That suspect is a Guatemalan national.
You see what you see right here, you guys? Yeah, this is your tax dollars at work, by the way. You're paying for those lawyer fees.
Who told officers his name is Honorio Guinac Ramos, appeared in court Friday, but investigators believe the name is an alias and he hasn't been very helpful.
I was surprised.
Hasn't been very upfront. Oh, you're telling me he lied. Oh, okay. So a Biden illegal brutally attacked a woman. So it's happening relentlessly. That Joe Biden's allowing. This is Joe Biden's America. By the way, it's going to be Kamala Harris's America too. I mean, the fact that just because Joe Biden bows out of the race doesn't mean anything's going to change. Matter of fact, it's probably going to be worse because Kamala Harris is a complete idiot. And by the way, what's the Democrats' plan to cover up the fact that she sat there and lied, that she was put in charge of the border and couldn't fix it? If she can't fix a border, how's she going to fix the country? If she couldn't fix California, how's she going to fix a country? Again, Democrats are just like, let's just get rid of Joe, but what's your plan B? They never have a plan B. It's just when something sounds good, they just implement it. And when it all falls apart, they're completely shocked. And that's why it's always conservatives and Republicans that come on their shows going, yeah, if you do this, this is what's going to happen. And then when that very thing happens, because you told them it was going to happen, and you detailed out why it was going to happen, and that the probability of it happening is a very good likelihood, they're still blown away. Like, they cannot wrap their heads around how something could happen, even though you walked them through exactly why it was going to happen, how it was going to happen, probably when it was going to happen, who was involved in it, and they are still like, what? Like, case in point, Joe Biden not being sharp, right? Joe Biden falling up a flight of stairs, talking to fucking dead people, looking for dead people in the crowd, asking for them, taking photos with people at events that were never there in the first place, falling down everywhere, wandering off, has a terrible 90 minutes in a debate with Donald Trump, couldn't recall things, fumbling through his words, and Democrats are like, what happened to Joe? This isn't the Joe I know. This isn't the Joe I voted for. What happened? I didn't see this coming. Democrats for you, man. Not on everything. Not on everything, but I'll tell you what, man. They're not with us. Brad, you don't get it. We got to be unburdened by what we've been. Yeah. That is correct, Jane. Well said. That is a Kamala Harris quote. You don't get it. We got to be unburdened by what's been. Yeah, she's a philosopher, man. They're going to write books just like they're going to take out Aristotle's chapter on sitting there called The Pursuit of Happiness and replace it for Unburdened by What's Been. That will be the title. Well, I also want to bring this to your guys' attention. So the Iranians are allegedly the ones that have plotted to assassinate Donald Trump, right? Now, this might come not as a shock to many of us, but Joe Biden here is sitting there and renewing $10 billion sanction waivers for Iran. I'm not going to lose it. I'm going to keep it together. I've been good this week. I think, not only did Donald Trump become a changed man when he got shot in the head, but me watching it live, I think I became a changed man too. I think I've been pretty good, right? So $10 billion going to the Iranians. And why would Joe Biden not? Why would Joe Biden not do that? Why would he not? They're doing great work. They're funding terrorism. I mean, is Kamala Harris, what is she going to say about that? Like, you guys gave $10 billion to the Iranians. You gave 40 million. I mean, we don't even know how much it's been, by the way. I haven't done the math. I don't know how long that agreement's been with the Taliban of the Biden administration, giving them 40 to 87 million a week. But that's that's minimum 120 mil every month. 120 mil every month. The amount of money going to the Taliban is insane. You could have built a border wall for that money. So that's what's going on with all those things. You got Joe Biden continually funding terrorists. He's given more money to the Iranians that now I guess is also renewing sanctions for Iraq to purchase Iranian electricity. You have the immigration still just blowing up. And by the way, folks, be prepared for this next election. You have people that are, the SAVE Act is not going to fix this election. And by the way, Democrats aren't going to approve it in the Senate. So they're going to still allow illegals to vote. And I think that's going to give Kamala Harris the edge. And I know this sounds crazy about what I'm going to say. There's been a lot of people, a lot of news out there that I think has been misleading conservatives, Republicans thinking, oh, red wave. Because why couldn't Donald Trump win? Folks, the same people that we just showed yesterday that are saying that the assassination attempt was staged, it wasn't real, it didn't happen. Please understand how many Democrats really believe that. It is head spinning how many Democrats think it was staged and wasn't real, that it was Hollywood, it was fabricated. The same people that think it was staged are also saying that Joe Biden's coherent. You just saw the most recent poll that 50% of Democrats think Joe Biden is somewhat mentally fit or just extremely confident that there's not a single thing wrong with this guy. I mean, these people don't carry our values, folks. They don't carry the ideology that we hold in this country. They don't even see the same thing. And, that's why we're going to go into here if they let us, folks. We got to get our sponsor because they're the one keeping me awake right now. I've been going to bed really late. I'm telling you, to be quite frank, you guys, the assassination did shake me up a little bit. Watching that live, really thinking about my own words and how I portray my message to my audience. Haven't been sleeping too well. I've been going to bed around midnight. And so only getting about 5-6 hours of sleep. So this is keeping me going. It's 1775 Coffee. They were our first sponsor here on the show, and we love them. So it's time to say goodbye to Starbucks. I call it $5. A lot of you saw me drinking Starbucks the other day during the RNC. I told you it was a cup that I kept. I just filled it with Mio, and I only buy Starbucks when I have a gift card because it's so pricey. We'll say hello to 1775 Rumbles Coffee. Unlike other brands, this is a coffee that backs free speech and is unapologetic about it. Hell, folks, they back it up because I'm the ones that I'm working with them. If I went all the way to their service to have us be their main hub, then, this says everything you need to know. I'm not really using YouTube that much as a service anymore. Visit 1775coffee.com. Use promo code STUDIO40 to get 40% off. You guys are giving them 40% off? Damn. I didn't get 40% off. Looks like I'm getting this today to myself. The coffee comes in medium and dark roast. I preferably like dark roast. That's why the beard's so dark, which is similar to Kona Coffee. They have this peaberry thing. It's pretty good, but I like the dark roast. In other words, this stuff is premium, baby. Click on the live chat or the description. Get your discount today, 1775coffee.com, 40% by putting in Studio 40. You guys said it didn't work the first time. I went over there. It worked for me. You might have to log in and create like a username and stuff like that, but you'll get it. So just head over there and get that coffee. It is good. But just be careful, ladies. You might start growing a beard. Some of you guys, you need it. You need the testosterone. I don't know if they pump testosterone in this, but I'll tell you what, they pump the caffeine, baby, and it gonna wake you up. There's a reason why we're able to do this show so early. Let's check out the live chat. CC here, his servant. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. I'm gonna call you out a little bit. I feel like I haven't seen you in the chat in a little while. Maybe you've been here and just not writing. Well, it's good to see you, brother. It's good to see you. Miss Squishy Turtle. They also think the frogs are being turned gay. Okay, hey, hold on a second. Be quite honest, a lot of Republicans think that too. That's an Alex Jones thing. That comes from a lot of actually government stuff. So he actually wasn't really wrong in totality. Can the Dems keep Kamala as VP and select someone else? They don't have anybody, Philip. That's the thing. They don't have anybody. They were trying to push out Gavin. Gavin could be a VP pick. They literally don't have anybody. That's the problem with that party. That party sucks so bad they have no bench. Like for us, right? We got Ted Cruz, we got Tom Cotton, we got Tim Scott, we got Vivek Ramaswamy, you got JD Vance. Like our bench, Marco Rubio, Nikki Haley, like our bench literally just keeps going. The Democrats, Gavin Newsom ran the state into the ground. You know what I mean? Like Kamala Harris ran the state into the ground. They're both gonna run the country into the ground. Chuck Schumer, terrible. You know what I mean? AOC, could you imagine? She couldn't even be a bartender. I love hanging out with you guys in the chat. That's why we're keep going just a little bit longer. One boxer dog and two. Oh, you guys got animals. That's amazing. Like you can tell a lot by a person by their love for animals. So you can really tell what kind of a heart they have. Hillary is Hillary is Sal. There you go. Dizzy with the take. Can we call out Dizzy real quick? Can I pin that? Oh, I don't want to get rid of the sponsor. I gotta be careful. Dizzy says Hillary is salivating. That's a take. I like that. Why haven't they? You know, Dizzy, I think why, I'm sure they pulled it. I think why they're not pushing Hillary out there is maybe she doesn't want to do it, but also because she's already lost to Trump, and I think she would lose again. She is that terrible of a candidate. I don't think Democrats like her. Democrats don't like the Clintons either. So that was the take today, that Joe Biden is going to drop out. You heard from Philip himself. He says it's going to be the 25th, and the man might be right. That just gives him about really only a week, though. Phil, you sure you want to keep that? A week? A lot has, I don't know. That might be a little bit too quick for me. I think first 2 weeks of August, he's out. But I could be wrong. With that being said, folks, we'll be back here later today. We're going to finish out the RNC this evening with Donald Trump giving his speech. The place should be a packed madhouse in a good way. And come hang out with us this evening for the RNC. We'll go live. If you don't see me on camera, I am there just in the chat, but I will be on camera most likely for Donald Trump's speech and maybe for some others. I'll be going in and out and stuff like that because we'll be live for a few hours. And quite frankly, it gets hot in here. So hit that like and subscribe button. If you want to become a member, we do have memberships. Ooh, I totally forgot. If you guys didn't see this, hold on. BaldBradStore.com. We started BaldBradStore.com. I'm going to post this in the chat. I forgot to do this. That's my fault. Like promoting everybody else's stuff other than my own. We actually have a link now, like BaldBradStore.com. We got merchandise, and we have a new shirt here with just the the American Patriot logo right there. So just on the patch, man, that thing is sick. So I'm gonna order myself one. So it has the logo that's very similar to the one on the back, but it's just a front pouch one. So the logo that you see here, the American Patriot right above, it's just the one with the pouch. You can also get the mug here in white. This thing looks sick. This mug here. It's the same mug that I'm using here, but it has the Patriot logo on it. That thing looks dope. So head over to BaldBradStore.com if you'd like to purchase some stuff. I tried doing Trump merch and they took it down. They took it down. So anyways, with that being said, folks, hit that like and subscribe. Thank you always so much for supporting me. You're an awesome community. We get together here. If you're not following me over at Rumble, what are you doing? And with that being said, folks, I'll see you later today here on The Bald Brad Show.